What's up? A couple hours ago, another student of mine just sent me a screenshot of his very first 1K day. This is the screenshot right here. Now, obviously, I blurred all the sensitive information because we don't want to leak his store. However, today I'm going to share everything. I'm going to share the exact strategy that we used to get in there, and I'm super excited to share this. Sleepy, if you see this, I'm extremely proud of you. I'm going to be going over what access channel we've used to actually market this product, what angle we used, how we tested offers, and how and why you should test your offers overall, conversion rate optimization that we did for his store, and then obviously horizontal scaling onto the channel that we did. Okay, so first of all, really important to understand how long you're able to watch this video without clicking off, without checking the comments, whatever, is just telling me directly how successful you're going to be, right? Because if you don't have the attention span to sit down for 15-20 minutes and watch this video all the way through the end, then I don't know what to tell you and I can't help you. Okay, it's as simple as that. I believe the level of sauce and information and value in this video might actually change your life. I'm not even kidding here. Okay, so keep watching. Very first of all, the access channel that we picked and used to market his store was Google. And it's only Google. This is a really quick information about this tool right here. It's not running on Facebook, not running on TikTok. It's running only on Google Ads right now and is making 1K a day. And he sent me the screenshot at 2 p.m. his time. Okay. Now, a very quick tip about Google, but if you didn't know this yet, is you can just go to your Google Ad account, click on Tools on the left right here, click on the Keyword Planner up here, and then discover keywords. And the craziest thing about the Keyword Planner, let me just show you guys this. All right. Let me just change the language to English quickly, and then let me just change the location to the United States of America. Okay, let me just click save, and then we can just look for any specific keyword that we want. Let's say you want to do shampoo. Okay, let's say you wanted to sell shampoo. What exactly would come up if I type in shampoo right here? It's going to tell me the exact average monthly searches for my keyword that I looked for, the 3-month change, right? Competition, and even the average CPC that I'm going to pay. Top of bid, right? If I'm the most spending one, highest spending one, I'm going to pay €1.50. If I'm the lowest spending one, I'm going to pay close to 10 euros. But it's not it. That's not it, right? If you scroll down, it's literally going to tell you thousands of keywords that people are looking for today, right? So 74,000 for Kerastase shampoo, Redken shampoo, Purology shampoo, Shampoo Bar, Orip shampoo, right? You can see the 3-month changes. Again, the CPC that you're going to pay, because keep in mind, on Google, you actually pay for clicks, not for impressions. And this is a feature from Google itself. This is not a private research tool. The Keyword Planner is inside of a Google ad account. And so if you aren't making use of this in ecom, then what the hell are you even doing? Okay, this is the most powerful tool for private research, for any research overall. So if you haven't known this already, then get on it ASAP. Okay, very important. Now, the access channel of Google can be broken down in a couple different steps, which I want to go through now before I actually move on to the marketing angle. Very first thing is you got to do, right, is you got to identify competitors of your product, right? So direct competitors selling the same solution, selling the same product, and you got to identify how much search volume a month your specific product has. So in his case, right, in Sleepy's case, what actually happened is his product that he picked, right, had a very, very high amount of monthly searches on Google. So we just hopped into the Keyword Planner and we just identified his product name had insanely high amounts of search volume a month. And the trend was peaking, okay? It was just going up like crazy. So this is the very first thing that we identified. So we just knew if we make a literal just search campaign, right, with putting his name in there as a title and saying, I'm the original or whatever, right, or why the competitors, and then actually naming competitors are worse or why I'm superior, whatever. And we just did that and we just identified it worked. Okay, that was the easiest thing ever. We didn't even need to make any creatives. That was the funny part of this entire case study. There's no creatives yet involved into this. Obviously, plans for the future, launch some Performance Max campaigns, some Google Shopping campaigns, all that kind of stuff. And I'm convinced that we'll scale his store to at least 10 grand days with the amount of just opportunity that it has right now. But basically what you need to understand is the access channel of Google is so powerful and so easy and so unused in ecom. And if you're not on Google, then you just don't know what you're doing. It's just so easy to, or I would say at least such a big opportunity. Nothing's easy, realistically. Nothing's really easy. I mean, it's just what it is. But opportunities, if you identify some and actually jump on them, like Sleepy did, is crazy. Okay, we didn't even need to make creatives, right? And Google ad accounts barely get banned. If you've ever dealt with Google ad accounts, then I don't know again what you're doing, but at the end of the day, think about this, right? His product has an insane amount of search volume. We just made a brand like a search campaign for his brand, which is the most aware thing that's ever going to happen, and basically was just his product name in there, right? Boom, hit it, snapped immediately. Second thing is a competitor search campaign, right? So we just identified names of competitor brands and just targeted their traffic. And then in the headlines, we said their brand name versus his, right? And then why we're better, or why the competitor XYZ is worse, and then actually not saying worse, but the words that make sense for your product. So in the case of shampoo, you could say why competitor XYZ. So you could say if XYZ is your competitor brand, then you could target XYZ the keyword and say XYZ versus your brand name, why XYZ hurts your hair or harms your hair, all that kind of stuff. Okay, very important. And now in the future, what we're going to do is basically just launch, first of all, cold search campaigns. So another search campaign, right? Search campaigns are really powerful. I love Google search campaigns, but instead of like actually targeting the product name, which already is working for him very well, we're going to target very cold keywords. So in the case of shampoo, again, he's not selling shampoo, don't worry, but if we sold shampoo, what we would do is we would actually just go ahead and say as a keyword how to wash your hair properly, or whatever, ingredient XYZ free shampoo. Okay, so just cold keywords that have barely anything to do for, just essentially unaware, problem aware people, right? That's how you really scale high. And if you really want to know how to scale actually really, really high on Google, you need to get into shopping campaigns and performance max campaigns. And this is where creatives actually do play a role, right? Because shopping campaigns, if you just Google something up, a product, and then all the first listings with images that come up, that's shopping campaigns. Performance max is just an all-in-one solution of Google, and so you gotta really then like learn YouTube ads, you gotta learn all this stuff, right? Which is the hardest thing to master on Google, but it's the craziest, most powerful campaign type overall. So if you make a PMax work, then you're never gonna worry about money ever again in your life. And so the cool thing about Google is it's extremely consistent. If you've ever scaled anything on Google, you know that not the creators, but the products last so long and they're so consistent. You don't have the fluctuations that you have on Facebook. And this is crazy because this is what I used to say about TikTok, right? If you compare Google to TikTok, it's different universes, right? Imagine this, like Facebook is so much more consistent than TikTok, but Google is so much more consistent than Facebook. And so I really love Google. You can tell. Get into Google Ads. First learning of this video. Second learning is we kind of a little bit switched up his marketing angle, right? We didn't really crazily switch up what the product actually was supposed to do. We just changed up what exact target demo and customer avatar we sold it to. And this is what I keep telling you guys every single video. You need to know exactly who you want to sell to, because all he did is change up the copy on his website and the media on his website. Again, we didn't even have creatives. We barely had any copy. All the ad copy was the headlines in his very aware search keywords or search campaigns, right? And so all we did now is just kind of changed up a little bit of the target demo and to a little bit older people. Boom, works. Okay, once again, they have more purchasing power. Older people are always going to buy more stuff. They're going to struggle more with problems. They're going to have more money. You just change that up. Identified, once again, they're actually buying this so much more. They're actually much more interested. Boom, hit immediately. Okay, marketing, very important. Before every product test that you make, even if it's on Google, right? Even if it's a huge trend that you identify, hop on it. Okay, do your research and actually read reviews, Reddit posts, right? Amazon reviews, competitor reviews. Okay, competitors ad copy that actually, from serious competitors that split tested it for a long time, and just see what exact things, key desires are they talking about. Because I promise you, if you don't know the deep human desires that your specific product is speaking to or solving, then you're not going to make any money. And so there's only really pretty much three different desires. There's health, wealth, relationships. Okay, health, wealth, relationships. If your product actually is able to fulfill multiple of these, even better, right? But if you're not speaking to any of these, you're not going to make any money. And this is just the reality of e-com nowadays. All right. Point number 3, offer testing. What exactly does that mean? What does it do? All right. Offer testing means that you have multiple offers at the same time, also known as A/B testing or split testing and so on, however you want to call it. Basically, you have multiple offers at the same time with the same traffic source. So it's the exact same traffic quality that is coming to your store, but it's completely different in performance because the revenue per visitor is very different. And that's the metric that you're looking for. Like, once again, look at his total sessions and then look at his total orders. Like, he has 177 sessions on his store today so far, 2 p.m. I mean, this is insane case study. But like, look at this, 27 orders. So it's insane. Like, it's an unbelievably high conversion rate. Once again, people who are on Google Googling for this are very aware. They're ready to buy. They already know that they made the purchase decision. And what's crazy is with the competitor search campaigns on Google, we can get other people's paid social traffic. So if someone else ran Facebook ads for his store and doesn't have a Google brand search campaign, we can just target their brand name and we get all their customers that they paid for. We get them. Insanely powerful, completely legal, by the way, and do this ASAP, okay? Offer testing, really important. Test as many offers as you find one that makes you literally $10 a visitor. And look what happened here. Boom, boom, all right? It's crazy. You make more than $5 every single visitor on his store. Insane, okay? Number 4, conversion rate optimization. Obviously, as you can see here, like I just mentioned, his conversion rate is not from this world. And the biggest part of it, obviously, is going to be the offer. But outside of the offer, there's a lot of key things that actually play into the conversion rate. First of all, it's really the marketing angle, right? Talking about the deep human desires. But the second thing I'm really going to say is social proof, right? Having a Trustpilot badge in your product picture, scrolling down and seeing reviews over and over and over and over again until you choke on it, until you choke on social proof, right? All these things are so relevant and so important when it comes to your conversion rate. And again, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're not going to make any money. You have to be different. You have to be completely different, right? Number 5 is horizontal scaling. What does that mean on Google specifically? Horizontal scaling essentially means we're just right now launching more search campaigns with different keywords. It's the same budget. We're not massively scaling, increasing the budget on a specific search campaign that's already running for him because you can't change the search volume behind a keyword. You can't do that, right? Essentially what we're doing is just massive retargeting of a huge audience, okay? So what's going on here is obviously if we can add in a bunch of different keywords with the same exact budget, we're making more money, right? Think about it this way. So horizontal scaling, you can just imagine it like more creative testing, even if something already hit on Facebook. So on Facebook, horizontal scaling would be, I have a winning ad, but I'm testing 100 more creatives. This is exactly what we're doing with search campaigns, specifically with keywords, okay? We want to have a list, a sheet, what you want to have in Google. Like, keep this in mind. What doesn't matter what you run, you want to have like a huge list of all validated keywords again and again and again. They could just plug and play, combine with each other, all that kind of stuff to make the biggest amount of money possible. And so this is the case study right here. Now, one thing which is really important, I got to say this about Sleepy. He is one of the hardest working students I've ever had. He's extremely hardworking. He's an extremely smart guy. And so one thing which you got to understand is that even though this seems easy to do because it's just, Google didn't even need to make creatives, whatever, he's a very, very, very smart guy. And it took him a pretty long time to get to this point. It's not easy to make this kind of money. I promise you it's not easy to reach this, right? The hard part is getting from 0 to 1. And so don't downplay this, okay? He worked so hard to get to this point. He's been in e-com for I think over a year now. He's worked hard, extremely hard, and so this is really why I'm absolutely proud of him and so happy that he's finally really making some good money. And this is just the beginning of his store, and maybe you'll see me with him actually and with another case study, maybe with potentially a lot higher number than a 1K day right here. So this is pretty much it for this video, guys. A quick video, quick case study. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys could learn a thing or two, then go ahead and write your main takeaway into the comments like always, right? And once again, thank you so much for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention, and I wish you a beautiful day.